This is the eufy Omni C20, and it is the first robot that actually kept up with my shedding husky while also scrubbing my floors without me touching anything dirty. The real win for me is walking into a house that looks freshly cleaned every day, without me chasing fur or paw prints. It sits in the category of fully automated robot vacuum and mop, the kind that not only charges itself but empties the dust and cleans its own mop pads. If you are juggling work, kids, and pets, or you have allergies and hate dealing with dust and dirty water, this is made for you. I wanted something that felt truly hands-off most of the time, and that is exactly how it has fit into my routine. The physical design matters more than I expected. The robot itself is a slim black puck that looks simple, but the shape is what changed my day to day. At just about 3.35 inches tall, it glides under my couch and the low TV stand where tumbleweeds of husky hair used to live. The base station is tall, but it is surprisingly compact for how much it does. It blends into a corner instead of dominating the room, and it is clean enough visually that I do not feel like I am living in a utility closet. Inside the dock, there is a sealed dust bag, a clean water tank, and a dirty water tank. I lift the dirty tank every few days, dump it, and refill the clean one. It is quick and mess-free. Setup took me only a few minutes, and I did not need to be a technician. I followed the quick start guide, opened the eufy application, and connected the robot to my home wireless internet. It only works on 2.4 gigahertz, which is worth knowing up front, but the connection was smooth. The first mapping run is actually fun to watch. The robot drives around, learns the layout, and builds a digital map. I labeled my rooms, split my open plan space into zones like kitchen and entryway, and set schedules. The application is straightforward. I can pick vacuum only, mop only, or both, and I can choose the order of rooms so the dirty areas like the kitchen go first. After that first day, I barely thought about it. It starts on its own, follows a logical path, and does not wander aimlessly. Performance is where it won me over. Suction matters when you have a dog that sheds like mine, and this has a rated 7,000 pascals of suction. That number means nothing on its own, so here is what it means in real life. It pulls up fur that settles into the carpet fibers. It grabs crumbs from around the dining table, and it even picks up those small pebbles my dog tracks in from the yard. On rugs, it transitions smoothly, and it does not drag wet pads across them. The robot senses carpet and lifts the mop pads or simply switches into vacuum mode there, so my rugs stay dry. On hard floors, the mopping system does more than wipe. The two round mop pads rotate about 180 times a minute, and that scrubbing action lifts dried paw prints and sticky spots in my kitchen. It is night and day compared to the robots that just drag a damp cloth. The dock is not just a charger. After each run, the robot returns, empties the dust into a sealed bag, and then rinses and dries the mop pads with room temperature air. I do not have to touch dirty pads, and they do not develop that musty smell I used to get with manual mop heads. If you have allergies, the sealed bag matters. I'm not getting a face full of dust when I empty a small bin every day. Instead, the dock holds debris for weeks, and I throw away one sealed bag when it is full. I tested it with my usual chaos. My husky sheds constantly, and the kitchen is a magnet for paw prints. I schedule a daily clean for the kitchen and entryway right after our morning walk. By the time I have finished breakfast, the mud is gone and the tile looks clean. On weekends, I run a hole downstairs clean. It covers the space in just under 2 hours on a single charge. Battery life has not been an issue for me. If it ever needs to top up on a very long clean, it goes back to the dock, charges, and then resumes right where it left off. I like that I do not have to babysit it. The slim profile keeps surprising me. Under the bed, under the couch, behind the TV stand, all the places I avoided with a stick vacuum are now part of the routine. The side brush does a decent job flicking debris from edges, and the main roller pulls up the rest. Edge cleaning is not perfect in corners, which is true for every round robot I have used, but it is good enough that I only notice if I am really looking for it. In the application, the mapping tools help me keep control without micromanaging. I set no mop zones over a thick wool rug, and I put a no-go zone around a cable mess near a speaker shelf. Room naming and schedules are simple. I can tell it to vacuum the living room and mop the kitchen after dinner, so the areas with the most traffic stay fresh without running the whole house every time. It also recognizes when it returns to the dock mid-job, so it resumes cleaning without starting the entire map over again. I have run into a few quirks that are worth calling out. The dock gets loud during the few seconds when it is emptying the dust bin and during the mop pad wash. The actual cleaning noise is fine for me, but those dock cycles can be sharp bursts of sound. I do not run it late at night near bedrooms. The application has disconnected briefly on me a couple of times. Closing and reopening the application fixed it, but it is a thing that happened. Also, this model does not have the most advanced obstacle avoidance. If I forget to pick up socks or a dog toy, it can get stuck. I have adapted by doing a quick 2-minute scan of the floor before a scheduled run. That small habit pays off. Daily maintenance is light. Every few days, I dump the dirty water tank and refill the clean one. Once a week, I pop the roller out, remove any hair wrap, and wipe the sensors with a dry cloth. The sealed dust bag in the dock lasts a long time for me. When it is full, I pull it out by the handle and drop in a new one. I never see a cloud of dust. None of this feels like a chore anymore. It is just part of my Sunday reset. A specific use case that sold me happened after a rainy walk. I had muddy paw prints across the hallway, the kitchen, and the spot by the back door. I opened the application, selected a quick zone clean for those areas, and set it to mop and vacuum. The robot went straight there, scrubbed the prints, returned to the dock, washed the pads, and dried them. I did not touch a mop or a bucket, and the floor dried quickly because it does not over-soak the pads. That is the kind of convenience that changes the way I keep the house. What feels smart here is how the system handles the whole cycle of cleaning. Pick up debris with real suction, scrub with enough pressure and rotation to lift grime, keep carpets dry by lifting the pads, empty the dust into a sealed bag, wash and dry the pads, and then be ready for the next run. I am not swapping attachments, I am not manually rinsing pads in a sink, and I am not living with that damp mop smell. It just does the unglamorous work on its own. It is not perfect for everyone. If you want a robot that can thread its way through a playroom full of toys without any prep, this is not that. If you need absolute silence during the dock cycles, you will notice those louder moments. If your home network only runs on 5 GHz without a 2.4 GHz option, setup will be frustrating. For my space and habits, the trade-offs make sense, and the cleaning results speak for themselves. I recommend the eufy Omni C20 to anyone who is tired of falling behind on vacuuming and mopping, especially if pets or kids are part of your life. It fits under low furniture, it keeps rugs dry, it handles pet hair without constant bin emptying, and it keeps the mess tucked away in a sealed bag. If you are sensitive to dust, or if you just want a truly low-effort way to keep floors clean, this system is easy to live with. I went from multiple manual cleans a day to a schedule I barely think about, and my house looks better for it. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the eufy Omni C20.